What do utility contractors do? Responsibilities explained. I get asked all the time, what does a utility contractor do? Is this a profession or a scope or a trade that I want to get into? Should I start a business here? I'm going to talk to you about what a utility contractor does and my impression about the overall scope in general, because I've got a lot of experience with this actually, and we're going to cover the different types of utility construction. So if you're into that, then stay with us on this video. Okay, so let's jam out. Let me first of all say that I have seen a large number of people be very, very successful as utility contractors. It's really interesting. In our line of work at Lean Tact and Elevate, we work a lot with civil contractors and specifically utility contractors. They love Tact, they love Last Planner, they love Lean, they love the Scrum system. They are implementing so well and just kicking absolute butt. They're doing so great. I remember a recent contractor that we worked with, because they are awesome, saying, hey, we've implemented these lean techniques and all of our projects are on schedule and making money. And it's actually not that hard to do. In fact, let me just go ahead and extend the invitation right now. Actually, I'll put my contact information in the description below. Reach out. We have a PowerPoint for civil contractors. We have examples for civil contractors. We know the method, and we have some podcasts that we can give you. But it's very, very lucrative to go into this business. Let me tell you something else. I grew up with a company called Conco Construction. They were tilt-up specialists at the time, but they have gone more into the underground utility business, and they're in Southern California. Great company. They're making money hand over fist. They are doing a great job. They are so precise in their work. They've got a great crew, and so I've seen their progression over time as well. Here's the deal. You can make a lot of money here. You can bless a lot of people's lives here. You can do a really good job and really be proud of the work that you do. And there is some technical knowledge here, right? There's some risks, but this is definitely a manageable or conquerable scope of work. So that's my overall impression here. Really love this. The other thing I want to say, just one quick thing. It's kind of a silly analogy, but I will tell you, when I see so I go to the lake with my kids, and we've got this old 2000 Chaparral boat, and I think it's a 23 footer, something like that, 22, 23, 24 footer. But anyway, it's old. Bought it for like $22,000. We try and keep it up, but I'm not rich, and like we're not getting rich over here with this, so I don't have this fancy boat. But I'm watching these people. Typically, they don't know. Now, here's a warning: if you're gonna buy a nice boat, you got to know how to back it down the ramp, because I've seen some disasters. But all of these people with these big old like F350, F450, like huge, like trucks that just are all tricked out, right? They've got the off-road packages, and they're driving or pulling behind them like a $350,000 brand new boat. I see on the side of their truck, like, who are these people? They're typically a small shop MEP contractor or an underground utility contractor. And I'm like, I wish I had a new boat. I should start a business. I should go into work. Like, I should start working as an underground utility contractor. Now, that's not to say they didn't earn it. That's not to say they don't deserve it. I'm just saying, the people that I see with the rich boats, the utility contractors are in their category. Some of the other ones are like custom car shops or like mechanics, like there are some companies that just can make quite a bit of dough. So utility contractors is a jam, and there are some great companies out there that if you're not owning the business, you can go to work for and have a very nice career and progress very well. So let's go into some of the key things that a utility contractor does. So number one, and this is easy, installation of utility infrastructure. And we're talking about water systems, sewer, stormwater, gas lines, electrical systems, and telecommunications. In fact, let me just pause here just for a second. I have seen these companies do very well, and I have to say again, if you want the pattern, we even have full presentations on how to do this. You can literally go out there, standardize all of your procedures, all of your methods of installation, and follow a system that will make you money consistently if you have the discipline to implement it. I want to say one other thing. In addition to these other companies that do utility infrastructure, I remember a smaller company that used to do the boring for underground electrical, in the right of way for, like under sidewalks, under aprons or other structures, right? And they had their boring machines and their specialty contract and their specialized crew, and they were doing a great job, and again, making money hand over fist, but they were very, very specialized, very, very good. And let me say one other thing. I'm really excited. I might have talked myself into starting an underground utility company, because you can get so good and specialized. You can, like Paul Akers, 2-second lean out your entire company and get very, very good with repeatable work and be the best in your industry. Anyway, let me keep going. I've got to stop derailing with my excitement, but this is just a jam. What utility contractors do, it's very, very niche, it's very, very specific, and you get very good at it. Okay, the other thing that these contractors do is maintenance and repair. So you're talking about routine maintenance of the civil infrastructure or the utility infrastructure. Repairs, like let's say somebody hits a water line or a gas line, or it starts to leak and it just needs general maintenance and repair. And this is pretty high risk stuff right here. So you have to be very, very, very knowledgeable, very, very good at it, and very, very experienced. But yeah, maintenance is a huge part of what a utility contractor does. Included in their scope is excavation and trenching. So if you were one of those that was like, I love the equipment and I love dirt, this is definitely a trade or a scope or a field for you. Number 2, coordination with other contractors is, I will say, minimal. The most annoying thing is having to work around traffic, in the right of way, around pedestrians, and around a site where other contractors are attempting to build the building. That's the main thing that you have to worry about. You don't have the normal coordination that like an interiors trade in a building would have, but spatial constraints are probably your biggest considerations. So that is one downside. You have to work in like a ninja in the night to get this done because you're working around other people. Number 5, this is a big one for public utilities or public entities. Typically you're in the right of way, you're working for a city or a government agency, right? And so they're very, very strict with how you install it. Lots of requirements, lots of inspections. So just keep that in mind as you go into this, because you have to be up to speed for requirements and compliant every step of the way. And this does go, meaning it applies for public utility work and private. And I will say that most companies make most of their money with private utility work. Just keep that in mind when you're going to bid, and make sure that you're also bidding those private clients, getting a relationship, and making sure that you're courting developers as well. Each of the installs will have a certain amount of testing and commissioning, right? One of the things that I do want to say, if you're going to install a water line, you have to pressure test it. You have to make sure that there aren't any leaks. You have to install the valves properly, right? If you're installing gravity lines, it has to be done properly. You have to TV the lines. You have to make sure that they're complete. You have to make sure that structures are positioned properly. So QC is a definite, it's a highly intense aspect of this work. And I will say that you have to be very, very good with survey, layout, and control if you're going to do it right, and with your QC procedures as you go. The different types of utility contractors out there, if you're going to work for one or starting your own company, are plumbing contractors, electrical contractors, gas contractors, telecommunications contractors, strictly excavation contractors, which is fun and expensive. And those can also be separated between on-site and off-site, or within the property line and in the right-of-way. Different contractors specialize on either one or the other, or both. And if you're thinking about getting into this trade or starting your own business, you have to have the technical knowledge, the safety awareness, because this is a high-risk industry, high-risk scope of work, high-risk trade. The ability to operate heavy equipment and to purchase or rent the equipment, I might add. And the ability to problem solve, especially when you hit unforeseen conditions. But the bottom line is, it is a cool deal to be a part of underground utility infrastructure construction. It's really quite awesome. It's lucrative. You can get very, very good at it. I personally enjoy it. And it's so important because this infrastructure feeds our buildings and our cities and our way of life. So I am going to turn this into a blog post. This is such a key topic for me. As you can see, I kept getting derailed in the video because I'm so excited about this topic. I've almost talked myself into starting an underground utility company, but I would say get into this business, get some experience if you're interested, climb up through the ranks by learning and growing. And if you want to start your own business, then I'll see you out at the lake, hopefully backing up your boat properly down the ramp. And I'll be jealous because you will be in a nice brand new truck with a nice boat with your family, and I'll still be in my 2000 Chaparral. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and the content that we have in the description below. On we go.